Well, hey there, my name's Tim, and thanks so much for taking the challenge to host your very own growth group. Today, we're just going to take a really quick look at the InFellowship software. Now, for those of you that are new to hosting a group, InFellowship is the way that we manage all of our growth groups. If you don't have one, you'll have the opportunity to create your own login, and it's a really easy, user-friendly tool that allows you to do a couple things. You can check your roster, you can track attendance, but the really cool thing is that InFellowship is the way that people can find out about the groups that are currently meeting, your group, and they can select that they are interested in joining your group, which then gives you the opportunity to follow up with that person. This Sunday, we're going to be opening signups to be in a group. So it's important that all of us know how to log in to InFellowship and manage they're called prospects, or the prospective members that want to become a part of our group. So it's vital that we're able to log in, are able to identify where the prospects are, and follow up with them in a timely manner. We're going to keep this video pretty brief, so let's jump over to a live demo of InFellowship and how it looks. So let's go over to that right now. Alright, so this is the main login screen for InFellowship. Those of you that used InFellowship last year or the year before, you can log in with the same email address and password. If you forgot, you can just go ahead and click right here to be sent a reminder, or if you still have issues, you can just shoot my team an email at groups@southhills.org. If you are new to this site, go ahead and sign up by clicking this button right here at the bottom, and it takes about 30 seconds to create your new user profile. Before we jump into looking at how to follow up with prospective group members, I just want to show you real quickly the tool that the prospective group members will be using. This tool is the site, or the tool rather, that the prospective group members are directed to once they click the button on our website that says, I want to join a group. So you can search for groups by using a couple different search parameters. The first one is postal code. So they can fill out their zip code, they can select the campus that they attend, as well as the group type that they are looking for. Children are welcome basically is a category that is asking, is childcare provided? Hit search. 38 groups. Let's narrow that down just a little bit by selecting Thursday. And okay, so now we've got 10 groups, a little bit more manageable. For example's sake, we'll go ahead and select the group that Christina and I lead, and this is where the user who's looking to get into a group can select and request more information about the specific group. So once they click into the group, they can get a little bit more information about it, when the next meeting is, the time of the meeting, marital status, meets on, location, etc. This really cool tool down here gives the person an idea of the general kind of ballpark location of the group, but it does not disclose the specific address. So it provides just a little extra level or layer of security, because it doesn't disclose the exact address. It just says that the person lives in this vicinity. So if they're interested in getting in the group, they'd fill out first and last, email address, phone number, a brief message, fill out the security parameters here, and then hit send. So I did one of these as a samples so we can go check it out now. So let's go ahead and log in to your specific InFellowship account. All right, so we'll hit sign in. Oh, didn't like that. Let's try that one more time. w@southhills.org. Enter in the secret code. There we go. I liked it that time. All right. So from here, you can edit your profile, privacy settings, find a group, manage giving, but we won't worry about that right now. The one thing that we're going to look at is managing your groups. Now, you won't see this right up here on the top. I have that access because I manage all of our groups, but what you will be able to see right here underneath You Lead is your specific groups. And we see here that Christina and I now have 2 prospects that are waiting to be followed up with about our group. So we'll click on that. And here again, you can edit different items about the location, description, as well as there's a thing called your bulletin board we'll talk about a little bit later, where you can post any notes. The one thing I would like you to do is while you're here, go ahead and update the description portion of your group. This will allow potential group members to get an idea of who you are as a host and what it is that sets your group apart. What we're looking for here is any little details that help that person know if your group is the right group for them. So to follow up with our prospects, we're going to skip roster, skip attendance, and jump right over to prospects, where we see the people that have mentioned that they are interested in getting involved in our group. So I sent over an example of Jim Smith. So Jim Smith is waiting to be contacted, and he is interested in being a part of our group. So we'll click into that prospect. Now we see here automatically on our right hand side that there is a button that says allow or deny prospects to be a part of your group. So we're going to allow Jim Smith to be a part of it, and that will automatically send an invitation to Jim to be a part of our group. Now, for him to move from prospect over to roster, Jim will have to accept that invitation. The one thing that I would like you to do once you have accepted the potential group members is make a phone call to them. And simply by clicking make a phone call, you will be provided with the phone call that they entered in to the Find a Group form. If they did not enter a phone number, it's required that they enter an email, and you can reply to their email right here. Once you've done some work and either sent an email or made a phone call, be sure to leave a comment, because your coach has access to view prospects and comments that have been made, so they can just make sure that your prospects are getting followed up with in a timely manner. Once you've done that, you follow up with the prospects, and now all you need to do is wait for them to reply. Now be sure, and this is important, be sure to follow up with your prospects within 48 hours of receiving them. All right, well, that just about wraps up this installment of how to manage your prospects using InFellowship. If you have any questions, be sure to email me and my team at groups@southhills.org. We can help you out with any trouble you might have getting logged on, retrieving a username, a password, or just in managing your prospects in general. Before we go, I just want to again say thank you so much for being a part of this integral process to our church. Here at South Hills, we want to be a church not just with groups, but ultimately a church of groups, because we believe that groups have the power to ultimately change lives. I just thought of just like to share a quick story with you. This week I was talking to one of my colleagues, and he was telling me about how this past week, one of the young men on his team, his father passed away suddenly and tragically. And he recently went out to lunch with him, and it was just a really heartbreaking time for this young man. I mean, the whole group that he was a part of was really in mourning and was grieving over the loss of their friend's father. And the young man said something very interesting. He said, you know, as hard and as difficult as this process has been and will continue to be, he said, I could not imagine what it would be like to go through this without the community that South Hills has placed around me. The support, the meals, the cards, and ultimately just the ear and the shoulder to cry on. He said, I could not imagine going through this without having that community around me. And that's ultimately what you're going to become a part of. You are going to, through your group, create a place where people can grow spiritually but connect relationally and build those bonds of community that, let's admit, all of us are ultimately looking for. So thank you so much. I'm praying for you and for your group that might not even be in existence yet, but I'm praying for it, and I am just expecting an awesome 2014 fall growth groups season. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you email me and my team at groups@southhills.org. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.